Scholar Kekun, can you please introduce yourself to the amazing audience?
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Joseph, for this opportunity. My name is Kekun. Most of my friends actually call me KK, and anyone you go with, I think it's fine. So I'm actually from Nigeria, Cross River State to be precise. My academic background is actually mechanical engineering. I graduated from the University of Agriculture in Makurdi. I heard it has a new name now. So I think it's actually a very good school. I learned a lot there and developed as an engineer, a professional, and that also served as a launching pad to my subsequent endeavors and also to where I am today. And I'm actually very, very much grateful to all my advisors, lecturer, and everybody that was very supportive during my time there.
Scholar Keke, I just want to ask this question, and it is, what do you do? Like, what do you do currently? I know for sure that you were once an Erasmus Mundus joint master's degree scholarship recipient, but currently, like, what do you do? Do you do business, or are you into academics full time, or do you do both?
Hmm. To answer this, I would say for the past few years, I've been full time into studying. So I'm a full time student. Yeah. Recently, I graduated from the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters Program, where I had the opportunity of studying in, I would say, three European countries, in the UK, in Slovenia, and also in Sweden. During my studies was focused on tribology of surfaces and interfaces. Tribology is actually a specialized part of mechanical engineering, and it was really a wonderful program. My Erasmus journey, I think it was very, very exciting. I had the opportunity to travel a lot. I had the opportunity to study with friends from, I would say, basically all over the world. I think if I want to put it in numbers, maybe I studied with peers from about 5 continents and over 8 countries. Right now, I'm actually based in the United States, where I'm doing my PhD program in mechanical engineering at Iowa State University. It's actually a very, very good university, and I would say I'm enjoying my time here right now. And though with all it's PhD studies really challenging, and will also challenge you to greater heights. So I'm enjoying my time here.
Okay, that sounds very cool. Yeah, you mentioned that your university is Iowa State University, and I think you already made it clear that it's an amazing university. But why the US? Like, why did you choose to, do your PhD in the United States of America? Because you are leaving Europe, right? You did your masters in Europe, and I want to believe that there are a lot of opportunities there in Europe, but you left those opportunities to the United States of America. Like, why was that the case?
Well, for this, I would say Uh, it's because of what the US has to offer. I studied in Europe, and actually, there were really many other opportunities for PhD, of which were actually very, very good also. But to focus on the United States, I would say United States has some of the best schools in the world, even as there are some also very good schools in Europe. And most of the schools in the United States are really very high ranked, and also the research facilities available. Usually, sometimes you don't find some of those in other parts of the world. But here, aside from even your own school, you have national labs and many other research facilities that could be beneficial for a PhD student. And that's why I'm here to pursue my academic dream in the United States.
So, Scholar Kekun, yeah, let's talk about how you managed to travel from Europe to America. How was it for you? Was it really difficult?
Okay, concerning travel to the United States, for me, I think I had to make my move from Sweden directly to the United States. I didn't have to go back to Nigeria after I completed my masters. So traveling here, uh, I think it was very, very close to my birthday. So I had to take during the travel period, I had to take it to spend some time in Iceland for my birthday. Then after 2 days, I had to now continue to United States. If you know about a bit of geography, Iceland is just around the Atlantic, almost in the middle of the Atlantic, in between uh, Europe and the Americas. So it cut the journey almost in two, and it was really exciting, I would say. I wouldn't say it was so difficult. I think I'm already used to a bit of traveling at this point, so and cutting it by half, I think it was a bit more straightforward. But I would also like to talk about my transition from my master's program in Europe to starting my PhD in the US. So for that, I think if the question, if it was difficult, would be based on that, I would say it was challenging. That's what I can say. It was actually challenging because as a master's student, you're actually taking courses. You have exams to write. You have projects, assignments every week, and so then at a point you're also doing your thesis. But you also know that your study program is coming to an end, and you also have to search for your next opportunity. So you actually have to. You have to hold things in two hands. So you are handling your academics in one hand, and you're also searching for your next opportunity at the other side. Maybe applying for jobs, as the case may be, and also applying for scholarships, because sometimes you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You just have to shoot your shots at almost all directions. So, and you don't just apply to one school. So you apply to as many schools as possible. You apply to as many jobs as possible. So in that regard, I would say it was actually a bit. It was challenging, and for anybody hoping to apply, I think that part of it is also there, but you don't give up because of that. So for me personally, making all of such application and also the follow-up process to that also. But in all, I think we scaled through and we are here.
I'm talking about the visa application process. Where did you do your visa application? Where did you get it? And how was the process in general? These are questions that I keep asking every scholar that comes on here to talk about their experience. So I want to understand what is happening in other clime, as regards visa application process, right? So that we can look at these climes, we can look at these climes, and then we can also look at the country of Nigeria, so we can get to understand if really there are problems. Because many people talk about the fact that there are problems, but we don't really see platforms where people come and say this was my experience, this is the problem I had, and stuff like that. So that is why I made sure that that question is always asked during this interview, and I hope you guys see reasons with me as well. So yeah, let's hear it from you, Scholar KK. Thank you.
I think this is an interesting one because I've heard so many visa stories, and I was also scared myself. For me, I actually applied for my visa in Sweden because I was actually studying there and I was residing there legally. So, um, the normal process to fill in your is it DS 160 and upload. Okay, you didn't have to upload any documents. Then also visit the embassy. I would say it was kind of straightforward. Before going for my interview, I actually had to practice, had to look at questions, had to prepare answers, and so. But I would say at the embassy, it was the most casual interview or the most casual process I've ever seen. So I was even beginning to wonder, well, what was all the story about? But I think what made it easy was because I was kind of like I was in a first world country, so maybe the scrutiny or the focus in such places may not be so much as it would be in Nigeria or maybe in India or any other country. So uh, if it's about some of the questions, okay, just basic questions. What are you going to the United States for studies and just that. So as I discussed with my friend, I said, oh, it was a 30 seconds interview. Possibly what made it also easy was because I'm currently fully funded. Well, my program is fully funded, so I'm sorted financially, and that solves a lot of problems. That would be quite different from someone that is self-sponsored and also may not be fully funded.
You can hear from what Scholar KK just said, right? I mean, what is happening? I get the whole story about you need to have like full funding and everything, like everything needs to be available, all the boxes ticked correctly when you're applying for your US visa, right? Wherever you are. But I mean, I've heard cases of people who had all the boxes ticked, people who had like scholarship, full scholarship, and they were still denied visa. And then people will say it is village people. Which village people? We just need to do things like try to make life easy for people. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what to say for real, man. I understand that you already have this European experience, and by that I'm talking about the academic experience, and in some cases the travel experience as well. But like, what was your first day in the United States like?
That's interesting. My first day in the US, when was that? Okay, yeah, I think it was a very, I would say, sunny day. It was really beautiful and a bit stressful. So I got to Iowa, I think, late in the night, close to midnight. I got to Iowa, Des Moines. But when I finally got to where my school is, the city in which my school is, I think it should be about 2 a.m. in the night. So I would say stressful, exciting, and also just when you imagine full of possibilities and and that feeling. But maybe the day after that also would also be quite interesting to talk about. I would say I couldn't believe the experience that in the United States. I think the next morning I had to open the door, kind of like see the sunlight, and I took out my phone to take a video, and some things that are kind of you just have to think about it, and awesome, I would say. Yeah.
Scholar KK, you have stayed in Europe. I know you had an exciting experience. You had an amazing time when you were in Europe. But would you really say that you miss Europe more than you miss Nigeria, or you miss both?
I would go for the last one. I think I miss both. I miss Nigeria, particularly because of my family. I've not seen my family for about 2 years now going. So I also miss Nigerian people, the whole our vibe. Yeah. So that one is something we always miss. Yeah. So I always miss I always miss the country, and also maybe the food. And Europe also, I think I miss Europe quite a lot. Yeah, because you're already getting so adapted to the system, like, and there's this type of, I would call it serenity you get in Europe, like, and also especially in Europe, I think I had this sense of safety and all what Europe promises. Let me just say so. So I think I miss that sense of quietness and sense of security in Europe. So yeah, but we move.
Bro, you can imagine you study in Europe for a whole 2 years, right? And after your studies, you are kind of uprooted from that context, and immediately you are taken to somewhere else. Not like anybody took you there, but you took yourself, but it is for a reason. So if you really had a nice experience in a country or in a continent, and now you are in another continent or country, you are definitely going to miss where you are coming from. There is nobody that will not miss that Nigeria. No matter how problematic situations in the country are turning out to be, Nigeria is home. Like, it is somewhere that we really love. Like, but these people will think that, oh, it's a lie, you don't love the country. If you love the country, then come back home. But that's not how it goes for real. You guys should understand that our voices also matter, right? Our voices matter. So, Scholar Kekun, I want to ask this question. Yeah, because I really care about you, and I know that every other person watching this video, right, they also care about you. So, how has life been generally for you as a scholar, right? And how has life been over there for you in the United States of America? Thank you.
Ah, well, if I want to be honest, I would say tough. But if I want to be diplomatic, I would say it has been okay. Yeah, we are up to the task, and we face the challenge as it comes. So far in the US, I think whenever you move to a new country, you need to, and for everybody, there's that transition phase in which you need to settle in. You need to put many things in place. First, I would say, okay, for the past few weeks now, that's when my new apartment has started looking almost like a home, or now starts feeling like a home. So when we first came, I think it was kind of a bit of a rough patch for many other reasons. Yeah, but with time, things start getting in place, and also concerning academics, and also you have to get used to the new system. The system in the US is very similar to that in Europe, but there could also be some differences. So, and also the courses you are taking, you are also meeting your PI. So there are many other factors that influences this, and it could be very, very much different for different people. So trying to navigate all of those, it has actually been challenging, but I think also exciting, and with new discoveries. So I would say I'm good. I'm good so far. Yeah.
I think you need to place emphasis on the word very. It is very, 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 very tough. So if you are scared, then you have to back off. But if you know what you want, you go for it and you definitely get it. So it is not easy. The journey is very, very tough. Tough! Yes, the journey is tough. Okay, but not to scare you guys, but yeah, just put in the work. So, Scholar Kekun, I think this part is also very important. This question that I want to ask now. Yeah, I understand that you are now, trying to commence your PhD, right? But before you got to this point that you are currently, can you really tell us what you think made your application to stand out? Because this is very important. I don't want a situation whereby we are just discussing about, light things and, people who are watching this show right now, they are very much interested to knowing how you applied for this opportunity and why you think your application stood out. Why was it that you were the one that got this opportunity? So what are those things that you think you did during the application process that helped you to stand out? Thank you so much.
Hmm. For this, it's actually hard to say because some of these things may not be as straightforward as you might look at it. But maybe going through my profile, uh, I would say maybe that made some things a bit more easy. While when I applied for my PhD, I was actually a master's degree student. I was studying for my master's, so I also had some publications, and yeah, and I think I also emailed some prospective supervisors. So all of those put together, actually, I think made a lot of sense. So for why my application actually was successful, you never really can tell. But all of these items put together actually contributes to that.
There's no specific way of doing it. All you need to do is cross the T's and dot the I's, and then you sit back, relax, and wait for the results. But I want you guys to pick out something from what he explained, right? He said he had publications, and I want to believe that his CV is properly and well organized. So these are some of the things, because he just came here to tell you guys that he just applied. He can't say for sure what helped him to get the opportunity. It doesn't mean that he just submitted a riffraff CV or a moribund statement of purpose. I want to believe that he sat down to write these things properly and then he pushed forward his application. And you guys can definitely see what it brought in, right? And so, yeah, Scholar KK, so what advice do you have for, university students and even Erasmus students or some other master's degree scholarships, right? People who have graduated from most of these programs and they are looking forward to the next phase of their life. So, what advice do you have for them? A lot of people have been trying to get PhD after Erasmus, after Mastercard, after Chevening, so many scholarships out there. A lot of people have been trying to get PhD. So many people are trying to get jobs, but it has not really been easy for them. So, what is your advice for them, please? What is your advice for these people? Thank you so much.
What I would say is give it a shot. Don't cancel yourself out of the race. Those that are doing it, they don't have to wait. They are just like you. And believe me when I tell you this. So you can actually do this. So, but it goes both ways. You also have to do your part. You have to clean up your profile. You have to put many other things in place. And I usually tell some persons close to me that the journey of scholarship, once you start, I've not usually is the case that I don't think I've seen anybody that started applying for scholarship and has been consistent, determined, and very focused that within 2 years did not get an opportunity. It's almost as if it's impossible. I also used to recount to many others that I recall my first SOP that I wrote. Should I go now to read it? Even if I myself were to be on that scholarship board, I don't think I would have awarded it to myself. Yeah. But if you now compare it with subsequently, you see a marked improvement. So that's what happens when you start searching for scholarship opportunities and to gain admission abroad to study. That's exactly what happens. When you put yourself into the process, it is you start developing. You see that, okay, you yourself, you can tell that you start developing. That's when you now start to see some things you should work on. Do you have to take some online courses? Do you have to like your exposure, especially to schools related stuff and scholarship, actually improves, or kind of like, yeah. So there's marked improvement, and with that, you see that your profile keeps going up. So within the first year, if you don't have something, believe me, the second year, I think your profile uh should be ready to win you something. So just give it a shot, get started. Don't look at whatever it might be. Just get started. Fix your SOP. If you don't have international passport, go get your international passport done. Because I tell most persons that that's the first thing to do. Because outside of Nigeria, you don't have any identity aside from your international passport. That's the identity people will know. So if you're applying for some scholarship like Chevenins, Commonwealth, I think you have to upload your international passport. Go get that done. Speak to some of your, maybe your project supervisor or your HOD in school. Speak to them that you might be needing recommendation letters. And when you apply for opportunities, contact them. Get those recommendation letters, your SOP, your personal statement. It could be one of the most difficult things to write. But how do you do that? You do it by getting started. Take out your pen, write something, go online, check for templates, work on it. Don't copy, but work on it, reflect it to your own personal story and background. And before you see, you have something very good, and you keep improving on that. Then also go online, search for opportunities. Also, I would say move along with people of like minds. There are many scholarship groups out there. Join one or two scholarship groups with people that will also encourage you, people that are also searching for such opportunities themselves. My current PhD program I'm currently in, you believe it or not, it was just a friend that also sent a link to me that, okay, oh, look at this professor is looking for students. And so I also tried contacting the professor. I was able to through there go to the professor's lab website, and so I had to apply to the school, and I'm here today. So if you move along with people of like mind and like interests, it propels you. Even when you want to give up, you see one or two persons that will also come along, and you see that, okay, this person is doing this. And so still on even my current opportunity, when I started applying for PhD while still in Sweden, there was a lot to do. I mentioned that already, that it was kind of challenging. You had to balance your studies, you're already breaking under it, but you need to still apply. But what also helped, I also had my friends that all of us were in the program, and we were also seeking for more opportunities. I also needed to be, I was tapping motivation from them. Yeah, I was tapping motivation. I remember Paul was already applying, my friend too. And I had to look at him, okay, oh, this guy is applying. Okay, I also I'll also be motivated. I was applying, and right now, we got something, and everybody too. Yeah. So, but just don't give up. It may not come at once, but keep at it, and something will surely come along the way.
Yeah, so let's move to the next question. So, bro, what is that one thing in the academia that you do not like?
Hmm. Well, if you see academia, it's stressful. Yeah, but is there anything in life that isn't stressful? Everything is. There's a bit of, you have to put effort in everything. Nothing good comes easy. So nobody likes stress. But I would say, if we look at academia in the context of education, I wouldn't say there's anything I don't really like, because even the stress is part of the process, and you can fly today because of education. So that's really interesting. So many things that you get to do, maybe in your research, in your studies, and so look at it from that perspective, that you are learning or you are gaining something useful and something meaningful, that also you are applying your life to a cause and to a purpose. So I think that will help cushion some of the stress. Yeah.
What is the greatest moment in your academic career as a Nigerian student? Thank you.
Okay, for this, I would say one of my greatest moments was when I won the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Actually, that changed a lot of things. Yeah, that afforded me my first opportunity to travel out of Nigeria. That afforded me the opportunity to study at, I would say, three world-class institutions, to interact with peers from all over the world, to be taught by experts in the field, like leading people in the academia. I think to be able to afford such education, I needed to be maybe a child of a senator or something. So, but education brought it forth. So school may be scam. Yeah.
Wow. This Scholar KK just say school no be scam. Scholar KK, stop saying that though. School is scam. Guys, don't be carried away with such erroneous proclamations. School is not scam oh. School is not scam oh. For people that know, school is not scam. For real, school is not scam. Yeah, Scholar KK, are you single? Because a lot of people are here. Scholar like this. Look at this guy, so handsome, so fine, so oh my god. So, bro, are you single or you are in a relationship?
Boss, we can discuss about that. Random packing. We'll discuss about that personally. Don't worry.
Scholar Kekun, Scholar Kekun, Scholar Kekun. How many times did I call you? Anyways, what do you think? Are European ladies more romantic than Nigerian ladies?
Well, I don't reason in these terms. I think I reason in the terms of persons, individuals. So I judge people based on how they are individually, not based on if they are this or that. But generally speaking, I would say Nigerian ladies have their own. They have their own wahala. Uh, European ladies too. They have their own couscous, but it's not. It's not too much. If they like you, they like you, and if they don't, they don't. So, and that's it. Yeah. But Nigerian ladies, the thing is that you can never tell. That's the problem. They're still the nicest. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So since you are being diplomatic with your response, right? So which are you gonna go for?
Uh, well, I reserve my answer. Okay. Wait. Next question.
No way, bro. Don't reserve any. Bro, you have to say it. What is happening? This conversation is so interesting, for real. Like, very, very interesting. Yeah, so Scholar KK, what do you miss so much about Nigeria?
I miss the people. I miss my family. I miss the food. I miss the vibes, and maybe so much plenty wahala. Yeah. Nigeria is always drama. If you cannot be depressed in the country. Yes, and also the whole. I think our climate is also so good. It's hot right now. I don't think I can survive such heat in Nigeria, but uh, generally with some AC, I think it would be good. Yeah.
A lot of people might be really interested to traveling either to Europe or maybe to America, but they might not really be looking at the academic, for their reason, to travel to these countries. So I want to ask you a question. What do you really like about Europe?
I think in this context now, I want to put the two together, both America and Europe, and so I would say I like the work culture. I like the value system in Europe because I think that has been at the foundation of everything that Europe or the West or first world countries have actually achieved. Because you can trace that to that fabric of societal values and the values, the premium they put on honesty, on dignity of labor, on so the work culture. People can actually be very serious and they actually mean what they say. And I think I like that so much about them. Yeah, about us. Okay.
There's nothing you want that you will not see in that country. Everything is available. Healthcare system is skyrocketing. It is something to write home about. Our security is something to write home about. Our leadership is top notch. There is no nation in this world that has a better leadership than the leadership we have in Nigeria. Go and quote me anywhere. They will give you, go and quote me anywhere and you see what I'm talking about. They will even dash you money for you to say something like that. Yeah, because the country is so, like, the country is evergreen. The economy is booming. It is booming at an everything is increasing at an exponential level. So don't come and talk, please hold your peace Scholar KK. Amazing country, yeah, the country of Nigeria. So looking at what is ongoing currently in the continent of Africa and how our leaders take matters, what would you say is that advice, or what are those advices that you think you have for our African leaders? Thank you.
Well, the advice I'll give to our leaders, I think I believe that each and every of us we are leaders in our own right, and in our own path wherever we are, maybe in our families, in churches, in mosques, in schools, and everywhere. So the advice I would give to each and every of us, and also our African leaders combined, is uh, we have to be accountable. That's very, very important. The place of accountability cannot be understated or overstated. Yeah. So, and we also have to be honest with ourselves. Where we are today, I think it's because of deficit in leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. I think that should be John Maxwell. Yeah. So let's embrace accountability as a people. Let's be more sincere and honest with ourselves. Let's change that narrative that even if he's a thief, he's our thief. So let's change that. Should we change that? I think it's going to go a long way to help our society.
Yeah, I really believe in that philosophy or ideology that you just push forward. And I must say thank you so much. We are all leaders for real. We are all leaders. So if the people we put there as leaders are not doing what they are supposed to, I think it's high time we started putting things in place, in our own capacity to make the country or to make the continent a better place to be. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we've spoken about what we all as leaders in our own respect should do. But and that is in the African context, right? So right now you're in the United States of America. What are your expectations, Scholar KK?
Oh, everybody calls the US the land of opportunities. Yes, I think it is what it is. And for my expectation here in the US, I think I hope to learn so much in the course of my PhD studies. In fact, I hope to become a Nobel laureate. Yeah, so be expecting one groundbreaking invention. And I also hope to contribute so much to the system because not just United States, to the world at large. I'm doing a PhD now, and a PhD means you need to contribute to knowledge. So I hope to, in my small niche of study, to make my own contribution to better humanity. That's my expectations in the US, and I think the system in the United States ideally provides all sorts of support and actually really encourages ingenuity and genius. It brings that out in you. So that's my expectation in the US.
Yeah, so Scholar Kekung, I would want to ask you another question. So yeah, it's very important because we that we are abroad by the grace of God, studying, pursuing our academic career, trying to become the best in wherever we find ourselves, and and the likes. So let's look at what you are doing currently, and let's also bring in the nation Nigeria into that light. What do you think that your research can do for the country Nigeria? What are those things that the country can benefit from your research? Thank you.
Okay, what my research can do for the country, I would say my research can make you start having constant electricity. eh, Can solve your light problem, energy problems, kind of. Why I say so is by very great extension because currently I'll be looking at working maybe machine learning applied to additive manufacturing. So it means kind of like very advanced manufacturing processes. So should the material in which we are working on should it be successful, I think it might help towards energy security globally because we'll be able to have more specialized devices. Yeah, I think that's the most I can say for now.
You've heard it, right? That's just a tip of the iceberg of what Scholar KK is looking at doing. It's not as if most of our scholars are out there just playing. They know what they are doing and they are contributing a lot to these other nations. But what is our country doing? How are our countries reaching out to these scholars to explore their expertise? So many things are just gonna be left unsaid for now. But that doesn't mean they cannot be said anyways.
Final words. I would say you're a young person watching this. I just want to let you know that education no be scam. Don't give up. You can do it. And the sky is just the starting point. It won't be our limit. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And guys, I hope you've learned a lot of things. I always say this because that is the reason for this conversation. I hope you guys have learned one or two things, and I want to see, receipts of congratulations. I want to see evidence, right, of people progressing, of people achieving things. And I know for sure that if you put in the work, like I always used to say, you're definitely gonna be in your limelight. You are currently in your limelight. You just need to find that spot. You are definitely going to be celebrated. So I wish you all guys the best. Everyone that followed up until this point, thank you so much. And like I always say, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel because I will keep on trying to reach out to amazing people so that they can come share their experience with you guys, and you guys can be motivated. If you have that spirit that is already dying, it can be reinvigorated. And I hope to see you guys at the top. Don't forget to also put on your notification. Thank you so much. See you in my next video, guys. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.